So all of that power is great, and he's knocked people out. I just have to avoid that one shot for 8 rounds, and I believe that I can do that. So when I'm bouncing around the ring, jabbing, weaving, and doing all of these things, I know I can pick him apart and score points and make this a very, very big contest.
No shit, I saw it. And I don't give a Sure, he's looking good. Sure, he's looking all of that. Oh, he's dropping people. He's fast. So the fuck am I. People want the truth.
Chin's gone.
But he's still Anthony Joshua.
Which is stiff and no rhythm, no skill, just power.
You're serious about fighting him?
Yeah.
This is the first time where Jake is in real danger. Say what you want about money and prizes and everything else, this is going to end badly.
JakePaul has reacted to Anthony Joshua's latest training footage, confidently declaring that he can beat Joshua with ease. Dismissing AJ's workout as nothing special, Jake claimed the former heavyweight champion looks flat and overrated, doubling down on his belief that he's already on Joshua's level. His comments instantly ignited social media, reigniting debates about whether Paul's confidence is delusion or dangerous ambition.
Love it. I would love it. I'd love to walk into the Lion's Den and have everyone saying fuck JakePaul and then knock someone out like he did tonight. So we'll see what happens, but I know I can do it.
Who's that someone?
Anthony Joshua.
I know there's been a lot of noise today about a certain Tyson Fury placing £1 million on you to knock Anthony Joshua out if that fight's made. What's your response?
Paul has been taunting Anthony Joshua hard, claiming he's too easy to beat and even questioning his toughness. On his podcast, Paul argued that Joshua doesn't have a chin, calling him unskilled and stiff. He's not just trash-talking. He seems to genuinely believe Joshua is vulnerable and beatable, using that as fuel for his case that this fight is a real turning point for his credibility.
Own words are that AJ's got no chin, he's stiff, and he's got no rhythm.
What a fool. What an absolute idiot. He's going to get absolutely annihilated. If this is real, he's going to get absolutely annihilated. And, you know, who can blame Joshua? Who could blame him? Offering him this guy for 40 or 35 million. It's unbelievable. Put it that way.
At the recent press conference, Paul openly defended his mindset, saying he got to where he is today because of what he called his delusional optimism. He admitted that many people doubt him but argued that his unshakable self-belief has fueled his rise even when no one believes he'll win. By embracing what others call delusion, Paul sees it as a superpower, a kind of relentless faith that pushes him past limits and makes him willing to shock the world.
Anthony Joshua in less than a month. Why are you doing this?
I like to challenge myself. I like to take on the biggest, the best. I said anyone, anytime, any place. I truly mean that. And I'm here to go out there and shock the world. I know what I'm capable of. I see him and what he's capable of. And we're going to go to war, and we'll see the best man that will win. But people say, oh, he's out of his mind, all of these things. I've gotten to where I'm at today because of delusional optimism. And so it's delusion until it's not, because look at where we're sitting today. No one ever thought that this would be possible, that we would be here when I first started boxing, and no one thinks I'm going to win. So join the list.
Joshua, pointing to what he sees as real vulnerabilities in Joshua's recent performances. On his podcast, Paul bluntly criticized Joshua, saying he doesn't have a chin, has no skill, and is stiff. He believes Joshua's recent knockout loss to Daniel Dubois exposed his declining durability, making now the perfect moment to strike. According to Paul, his own unorthodox style, confidence, and momentum give him a real shot in what many would call a massive risk fight.
Is JakePaul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in JakePaul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much.
Jake Paul is positioning this fight as Judgment Day, as this fight can be a defining moment that could validate his status as a serious boxer. He sees beating Anthony Joshua not just as another high-profile bout, but as proof that he truly belongs at the top of the sport. He argues that by facing Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, he's finally proving he can compete at the highest level. According to Paul, when he beats Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to the world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, JakePaul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance.
Anthony Joshua, a seasoned heavyweight champion, has consistently demonstrated his commitment to excellence through rigorous training sessions. His regimen includes intense strength and conditioning workouts, sparring sessions with top-tier opponents, and a focus on both physical and mental preparation. Joshua has consistently demonstrated his commitment to facing top-tier opponents, notably stepping into the ring with Alexander Usyk, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and a formidable force in the heavyweight division. Their first encounter in September 2021 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium saw Usyk clinch a unanimous decision victory, outpointing Joshua with superior technique and precision.
The belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win. It just kind of tore me apart. And that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course. But at the time, that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up.
While Paul has showcased commendable athleticism and a strong work ethic, his experience in the ring pales in comparison to that of seasoned professionals like Joshua. Paul's training sessions, though intense, have primarily focused on building endurance and refining basic boxing techniques. There really are two very different schools of thought right now around the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. On one hand, some people firmly believe AJ will win dominantly. They argue that Joshua still has the raw power, boxing experience, and size to KO Paul. After all, he's a former two-time heavyweight champion, and underestimating his punching capacity would be a big mistake. On the flip side, there's a growing contingent who thinks Joshua isn't the same man he once was.
Back on the Way concept presented by The Ring Magazine, and today, folks, I want to talk about one word: delusion. It exists to a degree I don't think I've ever seen in any other combat sports athlete, maybe Conor McGregor, but I don't really see it even that level when we're talking about what Jake Paul is going to try to do versus Anthony Joshua. Not just beat him, but in Jake Paul's own words, and we'll get into it in a second, he wants to and thinks he will knock Anthony Joshua out. cold. And I think a lot of things are happening right now. People are on one end of the spectrum saying Anthony Joshua is going to flatline Jake in under 30 seconds, and if it goes past that, then AJ's a fraud and his time in the sport is done. I don't necessarily agree with that, and I'll explain why later. The other side is going, you know what? Jake might actually catch AJ. Jake might actually shock everyone because AJ got put down in his last fight. He got put down by Andy Ruiz. He's been hurt in a couple of different fights at this point. Maybe his chin's completely gone, and Jake has the speed and power to still put him down, even at the level Jake is currently residing in, which is only being in the sport for 5 years. I don't really agree with that either. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I'll say this. That word delusion I just talked about a second ago, it's Jake's biggest strength. It's the reason he's even in this fight with AJ. It's the reason that he's gotten as good as he has in the short amount of time he's been boxing. But maybe more importantly than that, this may be where his delusion finally leads to the end of Jake Paul's career. Because delusion in this business can get you hurt real bad. And I think for the first time, Jake Paul's delusional idea about how good he is in the sport and what he can do may have led him a bit too far. This is the first time where Jake is in real danger. Say what you want about money and prizes and everything.
Big names like Tyson Fury even backed Paul on this, saying he could knock Joshua out, calling AJ a spent force. For them, Paul's rising power and Joshua's perceived decline make the upset not just possible, but likely. This fight is being contested under full professional rules. It's not an exhibition. The bout will run for 8 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes, with both fighters wearing regulation 10-ounce gloves. Anthony Joshua must weigh in at 245 pounds or below, a restriction that introduces a tactical wrinkle to the matchup. All of this is sanctioned under the Marquis of Queensberry rules, meaning knockouts count and the result will go on both fighters' official records.